better go check the heater.
And of course, Pete has broken my framing just as.
Yeah,
Yay! Okay, sorry everyone.
I'm mostly in the frame. That works.
Where am I closest to? I'm closest to Wanderer. Excuse me, everyone. I just need to
Small technical difficulties.
Oh, according to this stream, I'm Grundislav Games.
Yes, because Pete broke all my frameworks.
Looks like I'm making games.
You were making
and nobody's doing games.
Yeah.
Hang on. Bottom left.
No,
Where's
no
bottom?
one is.
Where the fuck
I mean,
is bottom
RESULKA
right?
really looks different with her hair up.
Hang on.
And I broke Wanderer. Damn it.
Oops.
First Pete flees and I break Wanderer. And,
Bottom left. Who has?
who's got their speakers on?
We know who it is.
My phone.
We know who the naughty boy is.
Damn it, Wanderer.
Naughty boy.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Ooh, I am the Wanderer.
Yeah. We're
You
all.
are.
I will.
I wander around. Maybe we should just do this as each other.
Well, all right. I mean,
going, boys.
I am.
Well, we all say that quote. Is a
Jeff, I'm so proud of you.
I was gonna say, which one of us are you?
all of them.
All of you.
All of you. All right. Okay.
I'm not the best boy anymore.
You will be the best boy if I have anything to do with it in a moment.
Oh, no. What's happening? See, I'm looking. I can see what's happening.
Oh, good. No, wrong.
Yes, sir, yeah, RESULKA is actually GEMINI does games. There's
Yes.
some real technical trickery to make them both show up in the same place live, but yeah, you see through our lies.
Through the curtain.
There you go.
See, I thought you'd added that in the first instance, and then it went away, and now you've added it again, and I don't know what to think anymore.
Well, you know I added that. Like, Gemini would put the best boy there. He's too professional for it.
No, trolls would though.
Oh,
Yeah.
there it is.
A fools.
Oh, there I got that. Yeah, hang on, let me. There we go.
Oh,
The bad boy on the block.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch out for him. He owns a leather jacket. I've heard.
but does he sell them?
I hope not.
Oh, I'm just seeing it now. Why am I the bad boy?
No.
You know what you did.
I do own a leather jacket, actually.
Jeff's dad who has him on the weekend.
Oh.
Oh, come on, boy. Jump into me, Commodore. We're going down to my house down the coast,
Ooh,
mate.
what's that? I hear a strange noise. It seems to be coming from over there.
Oh,
Maybe
no.
I should check and see what it is.
Maybe that's weird. Yeah, you should. That's What would that? What's in there? What's going on over there?
I don't know, but only the brew can tell us. What's that?
I mean, yeah, the brew can tell you, but you can also, look.
What's that? Burn things.
I'm gonna be serious now.
I'm not.
No, I'm gonna leave you as best boy because that's what you are. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to YAR Talk. We are finally here. My apologies for slightly starting late. We ended up talking about bathrooms in hotels.
No, really.
Yeah, really, that's exactly what happened. Anyway, so as you can see, we do not have Gemini Does Games tonight. Unfortunately, he wasn't feeling up for the task this week. We hope he feels much better soon, and we look forward to having him back in this chair that I have taken over. Maybe not this chair, but I mean, because I'm feeling up this
precise chair.
But this frame.
Gemini never molests his chair on stream.
No. Anyway, so let us go straight into news of this week. And a dog.
Sorry, that was my drawer.
Oh, it's a drawer.
I
It's
have
a
to oil
drawer,
this
dog.
drawer. It's a wooden drawer.
Oil
What's
that
that?
dog
Oil
now.
the-
Timmy's in the well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trouble at the old mill?
When you do it
Oh,
like
God.
that sounds a bit different.
The doggy's happy.
Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to YAR Talk at long bloody last. We got a bit sidetracked with some technical difficulties, but we are here. For God's sake, does somebody have some news? I hit my microphone. Let's just start again. Screw it.
And he's off. Okay, well, we've talked about wrong thumbnail on YouTube again. Oh, fuck. Excuse me. I go fix that. Yeah, because we currently
Can you
have
talk
the,
at the same time? Because I could do some news.
Yes, you do
yeah,
news.
do some news.
I'm going to fix this up.
Aye,
Google.
Okay, we have a big ol' update to Scum VM, and it includes, at long last, much anticipated support for Duckman, the graphic adventures of a private dick. No, the one we're all excited about is Blade
Yay.
Runner.
Oh.
Yeah, you'd be.
It also does have support for Duckman, Hoyle Bridge, Hoyle's Children's Collection, a bunch of Hoyle games, including Solitaire, Hyperspace Delivery Boy, Mate of Magic 4, 5, World of Zine, Swords of Zine, I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, both Novas, Quest for Glory, Shadows of Darkness, The Prince and the Coward, and Versailles 1685.
Oh boy, my favorite.
Oh
What I
boy,
care
I
about
don't-
is Blade Runner.
Yeah. Oh boy, I don't actually have the thumbnail for this. Da 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 da.
Oh well.
Okay, MS Paint it. Put up Windows 3.1.
Put up an Iron Brew logo.
Yes, I'll fix it up
Just
for us.
screenshot
Sorry,
that
everyone.
and,
You're just gonna have to bring people in with the image of Red Rum.
So yeah, the funny thing about
Oh,
Scum
gosh.
VM is they do reinterpretations rather than emulation. So they write their own codes that works with the data files of the original game to make a working version. Ergo, this type of thing kind of takes a while to actually work. So that's what made Blade Runner support seem all the less likely. That said, it's not 100% yet, I don't think. There's a little disclaimer when you try and run it, and also I don't know what files it wants, and it's not the ones I have because I haven't got it to run yet. But it's interesting to note and good to see.
I'm especially happy that Quest for Glory 4 is supported, because when I was doing my series playthrough recently, I thought it already was supported, and I was disappointed to find out that I had to run DOSBox to use it, which
Yeah.
meant
That was weird.
The
I
The
thought
first
I
one
had.
supported
what the first three are.
is
but
Shadows
for-
of Darkness number 4.
Yeah, Shadows of Darkness. But Shadows of
okay.
Darkness, what's it called? Kind of up the game in terms of.
Yeah, because it used like SCI 1.0 or something. It was a different version. That I think Shadows of Darkness and Gabriel Knight used it, because Gabriel Knight's not supported under Scum VM.
Not yet. It isn't.
Or Sins of the Fathers, I mean. Yeah.
The Sin of the Father.
But yeah, it's yeah.
What
But
did
Blade
Philip
Runner,
ever do?
I ran.
No.
I there was a patch to install it, but it ran perfectly fine on Windows. I think I used Windows 8. I haven't tried it on Windows 10, but I don't know. But it's good that it has Scum
Right
VM
on.
support anyway.
I have run it on Windows 10, so that does work. It was like a sort of custom installer that somebody put together for it.
Yeah.
And it's how I found out that that there actually was a DVD release of that game.
Oh,
which
I didn't know
seemed
that.
like- yeah. Which,
That's handy, because there was 4 discs you had to swap.
4 discs. Oh, come on. Yeah, I know you're
It's
not
no
big on
Phantasm-
FMV games, but
I know it's no Phantasmagoria,
but
but
what's the
Actually-
record, like 9 or something like that?
Yeah,
I'm trying
that
to
was
remember
gonna
how
be my
many
next
X-Files
question.
came on. That's the one that keeps coming to mind when it comes to
Well, I remember
Infinite
Baldur's
discs.
Gate came out on several, like 7, and then with Swords of the Coast, it was 8.
damn. That must have cost a lot to
I still
produce.
have it. It's a beautiful book. Um,
I mean, when you're stamping them, they are significantly cheaper. Okay.
there's the. Did we talk about the archive?
I was about to say if we're done on this topic,
Yeah.
and if anybody else has anything else to say on Scum VM, Blade Runner, rotating hands. Wonder, are you shaking your head or following my hand? Credits will be
Sorry,
fine.
Use your words.
I was following your hand.
Okay, so the other big bit of news is you can play 2,500 classic MS-DOS games in your browser right now, as I'm reading the headline of
Right now?
Critical Hit.
Like right now. Like right
Yeah,
right
so
now.
what the
Not
hell-
do it right now.
Not you,
Yes.
because
Watching
we're
this
doing
stream.
we're doing this. So
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah, that's archive.org
Soon.
adding a butt ton of games, and some
A
of them
ton
are
of butt.
adventure games, I suppose.
I played
Tons of
Hoyle's Book of Games Volume 3, and I played checkers against Baba Yaga, and that bitch beat
Ooh.
me.
Of course she did.
Well, you can play that in Scum VM now.
That's
Yeah,
Baba
she's an
Baby, sir.
I also played, what was the first one? I forget. But I played something against Lillian Prune, and she has a really scary face when she's winning.
Oh, yeah, she
like
does.
this scary, insane face. So,
Yeah.
Lucy Phonic in the chat says, SQ2 rules. Well, Lucy Phonic,
Mm.
I'm sorry that you have to be so oblivious to the truth, but maybe someday you'll learn.
Yes.
What is the truth? That would you say? Like, if you had to put it into words, like 3 of them, for instance.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we all know.
4. Fuck. Cut.
Yeah, we'll cut this out. We won't leave it
Yeah.
in.
Sweet.
We don't do editing on these anymore.
But this is.
Any
You don't do
anymore?
editing anyway.
Yeah, did we ever do it?
No, for God's sake, it worked for you. You picked a path that requires little editing, and I salute and am very envious of you for managing that.
What, me in general or just YAR talk?
No, just you.
Yeah, just me, yeah, because I pretty much, when I used to do Let's Plays, well, I still do Let's Plays from time to time, but snip off the end, sniff up the beginning, let's just go. Let's go. Let's go. Alright, speaking of let's go, what's next? Newsboy.
I'm
Come
a
on,
newsboy.
newsboy.
Put on one of those caps and
You're
That's quite-
you're a
extra,
newsy.
extra, read all about it.
No pipe here, see? I'm 45 years old. I'm selling pipes, see? Okay, this one's not directly adventure games related, but it is kind of in our wheelhouse. A YouTuber by the name of Octavius recently got hit with 2 copyright strikes, which turned out to be in relation to her use of Hungry Horse, which, if you don't know, is a video game character from the 80s who appeared in several ZX Spectrum games. You know, the kind of machine that's outdone by this thing. And, yeah, it's not a good situation. Especially considering a couple of things that came out, specifically that the copyright holder, I'm not going to say the owner because it's not the original creator, it's somebody who owns the IP,
Is scum?
decided... Well, I'll finish the facts and then dive into opinions. I'll try, at least. The IP holder was not happy with the way the character was being used, as in... Well, Hungry Horse could be a bit randy. Let's put it that way. You know, music video, why not? That's an angle to go for, isn't it? But no, IP holder was not happy with this. Supposedly, they have come to some kind of arrangement. There was a joint statement meant to be made today, but that was on the conditions. That was on the condition that the strikes would be taken off the channel, and that has not happened yet. There's no indication as to whether or not, you know, the arrangement they've made is off or still on or what's going on. Apparently an email has been sent. Not how copyright strikes work on YouTube as far as I know, but that's what's been said. And it just seems like, and we're on to the opinion part of this, just a bit of a shit situation, frankly. I don't like the idea that the copyright is being applied subjectively, selectively. I think is what I meant to say. Although I think both of them work.
Well, so like, I have kind of some experience in this because I almost lost my channel back in 2011, I think.
Really?
Because Scholastic had bought out the license for the Magic School Bus games, and basically they very selectively gave 2 copyright strikes against 2 of my videos. And I thought, at first I thought it was just all of them, and then when I looked at it, I'm like, oh shit! It's like, no, it's specifically ones where I was, what's it called? So it was Magic School Bus explores the human body. And it's basically a scene where, as the children, you get out of the bus and you're walking around the colon. No wetsuits or anything, just walking around the colon, touching brown stuff. Of course, I'm going to comment on what the brown stuff is and that the children shouldn't be touching it. And those are the videos that got the copyright strikes. And I was just like, kind of like,
Yeah.
So basically, I tore all of that down because I just did not want them to, you know, like, give me one more strike because that would have taken my channel. And for a very long, like, I don't think I ended up putting those videos up for another, like, 6 or 7 years when I finally heard that they no longer had the license. But it can be, like, a terrifying thing to be, like, at that point I was doing, like, 3 videos a day, and I was just kind of like, I don't want to have to upload all those videos. I have Australian internet, which back then was so much, much, much worse than what I have now.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good point to bring up, actually, is the 2 copyright strikes. That, I mean, the guy will plead ignorance, I'm pretty sure, given how he's stated that he apparently sent an email to get in touch with, or to action something on these videos, and that somehow magically turned into 2 copyright strikes. What's that bullshit detector? You're going off? Okay. So... yeah, 2 copyright strikes. 1 before you before you lose your channel. That does smack of a warning or intimidation or a calculated move of some kind.
Yeah.
And again, I apologize. This is not directly adventure game related. Although she did review the YouTuber in question. Did I give her name?
No, you didn't.
You did.
Was that
You did.
Octavius?
Octavius.
OCTAV1US. She did review Leisure Suit Larry 1. As it happens, so kind of related.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just kind of in our wheelhouse, I feel.
Well,
That's for Francisco. He has another source of revenue.
everyone.
I mean, what's it called? We are the YouTube Adventure Roundtable. The YouTube part of that is included, so...
On Twitch.
We're on both at the moment.
And YouTube as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Tar just doesn't sound as good.
No. Or R. To take out any brand, like, what's it called?
That's raw, yeah. Rar.
Speaking of which, before we move on, I'm just going to post a link in the chat. We are looking at either a website or at least a URL to lead to our stuff a bit easier. We have some suggestions. Just have a little go with it. See what URLs you like. I like quite a lot of them. So, yeah, so have got that. Anyway, let us move on to our actual topic of today, which, as you can see from our descriptors, is little indies, big licenses. And what I mean by this is a small company or, like, you know, first time out of the gate, going to make an adventure game and going to sell it commercially, getting a license for something much bigger. Which, of course, this was all brought on by the announcement of Lorabo 3, which has to be the most ballsy thing I've ever seen. I have a lot of opinions about how it looks, but let's just talk about the fact that they have announced a game that they do not own the license for at all. Apparently they are in talks with Activision, and Activision kind of went... So they haven't had a cease and desist yet. But the fact, like, I don't know, like, Francisco, if you were to get a license for a video game...
Why me?
No.
That's your reaction?
No, you're a published video game. Well, like you're a published game developer. if you had gotten if you wanted a big license, and they'd come back to you and went, would you go out of the gate and then say, hey, guess what, guys? This game is happening. Support me.
No.
No, thank you.
No. The thing is, so I'm not going to get too much into this, but I think the reason it definitely is not the best decision to go forward because not being told no is not the same as being given the green light, obviously. And when you're dealing with established IP, it's pretty dumb to do that. But I think also probably the reason that Activision didn't say no, definitely not, is because they probably don't really care.
Yeah.
I mean, Laura Bow is very niche even within Sierra fandom. Like, it's not as as easily recognizable as, say, like King's Quest, which they did have, which even King's Quest was not super well marketed.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's kind of shitty on their part if they're just kind of leading them on and doing a wait and see approach sort of thing, because if they end up saying, yeah, we don't really like the quality of what you're doing, no, then that basically invalidates the work that this studio is going to have done. And yeah, I feel like they should just go ahead and change the character and do their own thing. Not, but anyway. And also, if you're going to announce a game, wait until you have some actual screenshots, not just 3 pieces of concept art and a 3D model.
There's a couple more models, so I'm part of a Facebook group that
just 3D models in general. Like, don't just release assets, concept art assets, and say, yeah, we're definitely making this game, because no,
that we've apparently been working on for most of this year.
Yeah.
But no, because I mean, obviously, this is kind of the route that I took in terms of because I was like, I want to make a Lorobo type game. There's no way someone's going to give me the license for that. Why don't I make a homage type game? Let's come up with Lorna Baines, and go from there. And then maybe if someone in Activision sees that, and then they go, well, here's someone who can actually design those type of games. Maybe they want to have a go at the actual license. Then that would be a way I'd go about it. I mean, what's it called?
Activision, for the VGA remakes of King's Quest, didn't they sort of say, yeah, that's fine? I mean, obviously they were freeware, so that's different.
I mean, what's it called? There was the whole, King's Quest: The Silver Lining by Phoenix Online, which they had to go through massive hoops to get a fan license, which Activision made up for them. And
that's
then
what I was thinking of.
Yeah, then they were stuck with the story that they had, which they'd written when they were really, 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 really young. And it's a bad story. It's what's it called? I have brought Francisco to tears while streaming it. I definitely remember a puzzle where I just said, "Are you crying?" And you said, "Yes."
They were tears of boredom. No, I'm kidding. In case any of the Phoenix people are
So what's it called? I love the Phoenix people. I love them. I hate the Silver Lining. But to be fair, what's it called? When I first met Caesar and Katie, they were really nice to just let me rattle off a huge list of what I didn't like about it, and at the end of it they went, yeah, no, actually that's all fair. Oh, you said a couple that we haven't heard before. And I was like, okay, perfect, great. But actually, it does kind of bring me back to the main reason why I bring up these things. Because we often talk about when things are getting continued about the feel of something and involving the fans, and I think that's always a good idea of including people that actually love the game that you're trying to recreate. But part of it's then also saying, which fans do you take? Because if they're young and not very good storytellers, then you're not really going to get a very satisfying story. Whereas someone who's a bit more established but then has also proved that they love the games might have a better chance of having a more authentic feel.
Well, that's what's going on with the 13th Doll, except Trilobite, I think.
Aren't they somewhat involved somehow?
I don't know if they're involved. I'm pretty sure the 13th Doll's had its story since 2005 or something. Like they had it all written back then, and they started it back then. I remember following it on a forum back then. But you know, Trilobyte saw what they were doing and said, "Hey, look, if you can get a successful Kickstarter, we'll let you license it." So that was the you know, that was the stipulation there to get the license. But like I know for the series, Trilobyte helped those guys write the story for the web series that's coming out eventually. But I'm not sure about the 13th Doll.
No, I guess we'll find out on the. Oh, that's part of the news. No, Halloween.
Yeah, it is.
13th Doll.
Halloween.
13th Doll.
It got
13th
a
Doll.
release date.
13th Doll.
It got a release date.
13th Doll?
13th Doll.
Anything
13th,
can
yeah.
happen on Halloween.
Yes.
The 13th doll might be released.
Yes, anything could
Has
happen.
anybody
Like
seen my tambourine?
Oh, not only that, they got some music license from the Fat Man. So they now have their own version of Dolls of Doom in one of their little trailers. I'll put a link in the chat for that. It was pretty hype.
yeah, so that'll be an interesting thing for us to stream in future. Maybe on Halloween.
Oh yeah.
But who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
We have no
Maybe.
solid plans yet. No solid plans yet. Of anything.
Okay, Garumi, what about the 12th Doll? The 12th Doll can fuck off. 12th
Yeah.
Doll was a dick. Like, it spits on your carpets. It throws up on your dog. You don't want that about. It's not even worth talking about.
Yeah.
Fucking 12th Doll.
But like, so the
It
main
drinks
reason.
all your
Hated
brew.
that doll.
The main
Hated
reason.
that doll, man.
The main reason why I kind of wanted to like really like talk about like these big license things was because with the concept art that they did put out for Laura Bow, again, I don't want to sound like a butthurt person because I am trying to develop a Laura Bow-esque type game, but like
You weren't going to announce that one, but yeah.
yeah,
Sounds like you've got
Dirty
a really
visual novel.
boner.
yeah, a Laura Boner, yes.
Sorry.
But
Bone who?
gotta know that bone. No, just like looking at it, like, you know, like it was one of those things that it actually really disheartened me. Not because, again, like I don't want to sound butthurt that I wasn't involved in somehow, but you know, like that whole thing of I do want a Laura Bow through, but I want it to be done right because like Laura Bow kind of does things that a lot of point and click games don't do. Like, you know, the main mechanic of the game actually is observation and comprehension of like, you can't just brute force certain things. You have to kind of understand what's going on. It has a very high adherence to, you know, like the detail of that era that it's in. You know, like the first one's a murder mystery that's very Agatha Christie, that's, you know, very 1920s. There's a, what's it called? The following one, which was Egyptology, which was really big back in the 20s. The announcement of the title was something like the Mechanical Codex, and like the pictures kind of give like a sort of steampunkish feel about it, but at the same time, like steampunk, that's very 1800s. Like that was the whole steam era. If you're going to do some sort of steam inventor story, you do it in the 1800s. You don't do it in the late 1920s.
Yeah, only an asshole would make a steampunkish detective game.
No, but again, that you're what's it called? Lamplight City.
Yeah, you're right, Francisco.
Yeah. But Lamplight City is very
Screw those guys.
Lamplight City is me trying to do Gabriel Knight, so
Yeah,
I'm just
but-
as guilty of not getting a license.
No, but I mean, like, what's it called? In terms of that, like, you're an entirely alternate history. It doesn't matter if you're, you know, if your entire history is wrong, like, when things are happening, because you're already in an alternate town. You're not even set on this Earth. You're set on another
Yeah,
Earth.
I get what you're saying.
So, I don't mind that not having an adherence to, like, a proper type of thing. But like, again, like with Laura Bow being very detailed about the era and like having a lot of historical facts. I mean, okay, they you know, smear a little bit things, but you know, it's all very much about that time and that era. And what I probably would have done is like a movie studio, like, you know, finally getting talkies for the first time. that sort of thing.
Yeah. See that.
But which is why I moved Lorna Baines to the 30s, because I'd have more free range, not being like stuck to other 1920s things. But you know, what do I know? I'm just
Laura Bow and the newfangled moving pictures.
Yes. Oh, I think someone's been murdered.
What would be great is if they did all the dialogue in just like really early late 1920s, early like talkie stuff.
Yeah,
it's just, like,
transatlantic accent.
Oh! It'd be like the narrator in King's Quest V all over again.
Well, that reminds me of
thank God you didn't go 10 years in the past, because otherwise it would have turned out like Projector Face with the dialogue on title cards.
Well, that reminds me of my my final point with Laura Bow 3, which and then I will stop talking about it. We can move on to other game licenses. But like, what's it called? If you look at Laura in any of the like Laura Bow 1, Laura Bow 2, Laura is a fucking dumbass. She stumbles onto murders. You know, like, she always has like a shocked, concerned look on her face. The you know, art that they did for her, she's all like, oh, like, I know what's going on. Snap, snap. Let's look for clues. You know, it's kind of sexy. You know, it's not. I mean,
She also looks like she's about 14.
Oh yeah, there's that as well. Like, can you imagine those models in a murder scene, like a detailed murder scene? I think it would look fucking goofy. Anyway, let's now move off me being a butthurt game dev and move on to another title such as Gabriel Knight Remastered. Now, the reason why I included this one in the list is, as much as it is a remaster and involved also original developer Jane Jensen, was that by including Phoenix Online, or rather, for some strange reason, they decided to mess with the puzzles and write some additional ones which were not very good. Oh my god, Dan, that is the best tagline I've seen for a murder mystery.
Absolutely, yeah. I was just about to type that.
In a silent movie,
That's
no
like-
one can hear you scream.
Hey, can't you guys just see that as a Mar Vista film?
Oh,
yeah.
With that
shit,
tagline?
yeah.
Man. I would watch that. I would watch that.
Shocky talkie.
Anyway.
The next Marvel.
Oh, damn. I would say that the Gabriel Knights, I would call that a remake rather than a remaster. Cause
Yes.
it's basically a new game with some reused plots, some reused puzzles, a bunch of their own stuff added on top of it, 3D models that take about 5 times as long to turn around as the old sprites did.
And glitch out all the time. Like, what's it called? If you've got Mosley and Gabriel talking to each other and you click on the wrong pixel of the screen, they start glitching at each other, just like they start moving at like hyper speed. It's like, I don't know. It's like, but the speech is still going at the normal speed. You know, Annie left me.
Yeah, there's a big problem translating 2D titles into 3D ones, and usually this is a problem for the action genre, because with the older 2D titles, you didn't mind so much that a character went from to in the space of a microsecond. But yeah, when you up the frame rate, it does become a bit weird, and it kind of smacks of my first year university 3D animation, where you slow everything down so the examiner can definitely see all the detail, but it's not at a speed anybody would ever do anything.
Yeah. Well, I like, you know, as someone who was trained as a 3D animator
That was the
at
best
university.
trick animation I've ever seen.
Yeah. But you know, like, 'cause I studied 3D animation, and I very quickly came to the realization. Oh no!
There we go.
No!
Oops.
I'm embarrassed for you. No.
Okay, who had 42 minutes?
Yeah. But what's it called? What was I gonna say? Yes. Okay.
I'm sorry, I distracted you.
You did. Your voluptuous butt. No, the. Okay, as someone who's trained in 3D,
I'm getting the vapors.
oh shit, man. But as someone who's trained in 3D, but when when it comes to adventure games, I very quickly realized 3D is awkward as fuck. Like, you're never going to have anything that resembles a kind of natural looking thing. Like, if you look at, like, Gabriel Knight 1, like, I mean, you know, top of their game, of course, but, like, the animations are slick. They have a motion to them that I've not seen in any sort of 3D animated adventure game. Generally, probably because people who make adventure games are generally small teams, and they're not necessarily, you know, 3D rigging experts. They're like, well, you know, like, the rigging's in there, the model looks fine. I'm not really an expert, but it will do. Case in point with that would be, again, another Phoenix Online Jane Jensen project, Mobius, when the game glitched out and the spines just started twisting. So, like, you know, that guy...
What?
Yeah. So,
I haven't played that. I own that, but I haven't played that yet.
I mean, it's kind of generic, and I feel really, really bad for being like, this game sucks, but it sucked. But in terms of, like, I think it's, like, halfway through Chapter 2, when they're in Cairo, that if you use Malachi walk him a certain way, that he suddenly just, like, his arms just go straight out, and everything just starts spinning from the torso.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I need to see this.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
I do need to let's play that, or I think I decided that I was just going to stream stuff and just be like, well, you know, I streamed for this amount of time, that'll do for a let's play. Again, going very low editing. So that might be coming up in our future.
Plan.
Yeah, might be coming up in our future.
Oh, there is something else I remembered. There was one more, just slightly more egregious example of remaking or, you know, a new entry in a license without the actual permission. There was an old Mega Drive SNES game called Rock and Roll Racing, and I think I've told some of you about this already. Pretty good game, which somebody made a 3D remake of, which, as far as I know, it got some pretty good criticism. That's not exactly what I meant to say at all, but, you know, people looked at it and thought, this is actually quite good. Not only did they not have the license, and I believe this is Activision at work again, not only were they making it with the same name, everything as it was, but in 3D, they were also using sound effects from the original game. So, pretty much a slam dunk in terms of that cease and desist that they got.
Yeah, that cease and desist was coming down for sure.
And their defense of it was just, oh my god! You know, get yourselves comfy, have a bit of a stretch, and prepare for this.
Although that reminds me, what's it called? Not that I have played it, but there's a VR remake of Sextress from Gag.
Oh god, seriously?
Yeah.
That'll give you the vapors.
The remake no one asked for. So
No one, not one person on the planet asked for that. There's not one.
We would
Out of all the games we asked to be remade, this was the one we had the most requests not to.
Yeah. We'd have to speak to Anatoly because I believe he owns a copy of Sextress VR.
Of course he does. Of course he would.
But from what I understand, like, because I had a look at the Steam page for it a little while ago, and they were like people just complaining that the bodies just fall out of the frame because it's not been very well made. It's like the bodies come down and they just go froomph, and it's just like what?
So as I was saying,
Yes.
the excuse that these rock and roll racing people gave was, well, nobody's complained yet. Literally, that was long and short.
I can think of two projects that also, I don't know if they got cease and desists or if they just kind of stopped, but they were both Indiana Jones fan games. One was Indiana Jones and the Fountain of Youth, which was a freeware AGS game that was in production for ages, and then still apparently is being worked on, but they recently announced that they were dropping the Indiana Jones aspect of it, so it's just the Fountain of Youth, and it's sort of adventure story, but it's just not Indiana Jones. And the other one was someone was remaking Fate of Atlantis in 3D. well, 2.5D, I guess, because it was like pre-rendered backgrounds with 3D characters.
Yeah.
And that sort of faded off the map. I don't know whatever happened to it, but I'm pretty sure Lucasfilm would probably be like, yeah, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's it called? Remakes can be kind of a weird place to play in. Like, how many remakes have we seen come up and fail of King's Quest 5? King's Quest 4.
Oh, yeah, that one too, yeah. That one's cursed. That one can't.
Yeah.
That one can't get remade.
I mean, to be fair, the one that when I used to see the screenshots of it, okay, I did not like the screenshots of this one, but the reason why that one failed was because the lady died.
Oh, right, that's right.
Which really just goes to show how cursed that game is. I think I was hearing someone saying that there is another remake of King's Quest 4 in play. So I kind of feel like maybe we need to make sure that these people are on some sort of watch to make sure that they're not gonna fall to the curse. But
I mean, all I'll say is that all of this effort going on, and we still didn't manage a remake of Space Quest 3 yet.
Yeah.
And then so I suppose the last title that I have, again, it seems to be the Sierra ones that get bought up. Activision, I guess, just quite happy to, give that over if people have money. Would be Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Don't Dry, which is
a
fucking weird
that one
title.
came out of nowhere.
Oh,
that
yeah.
one came out of nowhere because it was
really did. Yeah. It caught me off guard.
Yeah, they announced it on Steam, I think. They put up a link to their Steam page, and everyone was like, what, seriously? There's a new Larry game? And it actually was fine.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad. It's very playable. Although I haven't seen the end of it. What's it called? Because I played it with Richard Colbert, and we got probably about more than halfway through, and then I had to go because we were about to go to Adventure X the next day, and I got home and he said, I've just finished it, and I was like, what? But what's it called? In terms of that, again, there were certain things about it that I was like, oh, that's not quite the Larry we know. But again, it was fine. The weird thing about that whole thing was that not only did they take over ownership of the IP, but I'm pretty sure if you look at it in GOG, they're listed as the game developers of the original games as well now.
Oh. Yeah, that's just a clerical error on, well, not clerical error, but that's just a classification error on GOG's part or on Steam's part.
But yeah, it's on both of them, so.
Yeah.
But what's it called? So that they took over the publishing rights. Okay, fair, fine. They bought they bought the entire IP for that period of time that they have it for. But to be so ballsy to be like, yeah, we developed the original games. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay, so I think we're getting close to wrapping this up, unless anyone else has got a license that has come up because some small company has picked it up again.
Well, if some small company wants to pick up the rights of Toonstruck and get that damn sequel made...
Yeah.
That'd be good.
I'll probably just clipped there, but it was important.
The assets are there, so that, I don't see why they don't go ahead with that. I suppose then I'm going to ask the question of all of us. If you could... Well, this is actually... I had a different question, but I like Grundy's one better. If you could take over an IP, an old IP, what would you take? And maybe what's the biggest change that you would do to it in modernizing it?
I think I might have to bring up my DOSBox folder here, see what we've got. I think I would take the rights to the Orion Conspiracy. And never release the game again. I can't take that risk.
Is that your way of modernizing it? It's just gone.
No. Make it a hidden object game. The story's just about crack enough that I think it could fit.
Oh,
just
God,
all the hidden objects are tables.
Actually,
it's a table.
It's a table. Hidden objects on the table.
We have one voiceover line.
Yeah,
that's all we need.
It's a table.
Actually, ever since I found out that this old Resident Evil in space game, and I think I've brought it up again before, Martian Gothic Unification, is literally Resident Evil on Mars. It was originally conceived as a point-and-click adventure. I kind of want to make that happen. It's way too much effort for me to be bothered with, but, you know, it just feels right somehow. To explore what that could have been.
Dave, you want to go next?
It's a tricky one, but actually, you know what? Oof. Okay. There is one I would love to make happen. And I'd probably do it in the style of like, maybe a first-person, kind of walking simulator, but a bit more interaction. It'd be pretty cool. Give it a VR version. But the Secret of Vulcan Fury, which was meant to be the third part to the, I would love to see that get made.
Yeah.
I would love to see that get made.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Do it in a little first-person little beep 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 on the little controls. And that's how I'd make it modern.
Actually, come to think of it, I wouldn't mind a modern day, not even maybe a remake, just something that runs on its own in Windows of Metal Marines.
Oh
I want to drag some missiles between two windows for
that was
absolutely no reason.
That was an amazing thing they could do.
Thing loose.
Francisco?
I would get the rights to Torrent's Passage and make the sequel, Torrent's Dictatorship, in which he overtakes all of the other kingdoms and fleshes out the
I knew you were going to take that. I knew you were going to take that.
And actually turn it and salvage it and make it into a good story, because there's something there. It just... Oh, and of course I would feature a scene where the bitter nuts all die horribly. So...
Yes! Yes!
So that's what I would do.
And it's 4 seconds long until there's corpses on the ground, and then you never have to worry about them again.
Yes. A visual?
Thinking about the Discworld games, but
Nice choice.
I'm really not sure how you could modernize them. Maybe make them less moon logic-y.
Well, you can't make them more moon logic-y, really. So.
Well, yeah. So I don't know if I would
You could try, but that's mad.
Considering the the content that's in those games, I think moon logic is alright as long as it's moon logic that has been properly hinted at.
Yeah.
Which is the problem, I would say, with the first game. Although, disclosure, I did not complete the first or second Discworld games. I just couldn't push my way through them.
But the
so
question
at that point where I
was
was just going back to the walkthrough and just realizing I was going to be following it the whole way through. So I was like, yeah, it's always that worry where you start using a walkthrough. I put it off as long as possible because I know I'm
Me too.
going to be so tempted to go back to it.
Yeah.
Would you make a Discworld game of Uza with Rincewind or another character or
Probably Rincewind.
And would you get Eric Idle back in?
You know what? You would
there is
definitely
a correct
get him.
answer.
Yeah. He wants the correct answer. No. It's very important. I must know. But yeah, probably what I would actually take. I would take the License of Phantasmagoria.
Yeah.
Do you need anything other than the name? Because the first and second games have nothing to do with each other.
See, this is the thing, because I actually would make a direct sequel to Phantasmagoria 1, where
Drain Cleaner Quest.
No. Where I actually wrote this out as a design doc many years ago, but that Adrian's about to get married to someone else, but she's starting to have dreams of Don. So she goes, I'm gonna go back.
Don.
I'm gonna go visit the house one last time just to put all just to say goodbye. But she gets there and the house is entirely destroyed, but she finds Kano's ring on the ground.
Oh my god, Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead! Yes!
Well done, Wilco Web.
But what's it called? Because it does need a tagline, because Puzzle Flesh is taken. But in her picking up the ring, she actually goes back into the past during one of the earlier she takes over the life of someone else's wife that is having the same issue that she did in the original one, and if she solves it, Don doesn't die.
Oh.
But how does he come back?
That's good.
Well, because the whole thing is, if she manages to stop Kano then, or like the spirit of Kano then how can he have taken over Don back then? So then it's kind of like,
so it's a
yeah.
And then she's gonna, and then she's
paradox thing.
Yeah, and then she's gonna have this whole thing of like, oh, but I do love the new guy that I'm with, but Don, but if I,
Oh, you should introduce the twist that like the new guy that she's in love with, she finds out that like one of his ancestors is like there, and in order to save Dawn, she has to kill his ancestor, preventing him from being born. So she has to choose.
Oh shit!
This got very
Can't have Dawn
outlandish.
turn evil.
Yeah.
If
This
there's
got
no
very
Dawn.
outlander very
Exactly.
quickly, didn't it? Very quickly. Oh man. So that's what I would do, and then and then because I still own the license, I would do a direct sequel to Phantasmagoria 2, and it would just then repeat like just every odd one would be a continuation of the Adrian story, and the other one would be the continuation of anyone from Curtis's world. They couldn't. They'd have to be prequels though. Like
Whatever happened to the Phantasmagoria movie with Miriam Margolyes, by the way?
Oh, Miriam Margolyes. I don't apparently it got filmed, but I don't know if it went through editing or anything.
So it's on a shelf somewhere, is what you're saying.
Oh my god, she would be an amazing Harriet though.
That.
Time to do the detective agency.
She would be,
Let's do it. Let's get back to that. Let's get back to that chat, guys. Hang on, let's open it up.
God, I've
Maybe
just
we can
back
get the
in our office.
people to help us.
I've just imagined Miriam
Quick, throw the fedora
Margolyes.
on the coat hook.
Have you seen Francisco? Have you seen
Joe
any
TV
of
prequel?
Have you seen any of Miss Fisher's murder mysteries? No, so she plays Aunt Prudence in that, and like she's like, oh, Friday, we can't do this, and like I'm just imagining that, but then also being like, Adrian, I want to read your fortune. I live in your barn.
And if we honestly need to make like the Indiana Jones warehouse, but for YAR stuff. We need to find this film. We need to find this film.
Oh man,
Do we?
No, we don't.
All right.
We do.
I think we're coming to a close. So let's start talking about plugging. Plugging.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Iki, have you got anything on?
Well, I forgot to do it at 9 o'clock tonight, which I meant to do and I didn't do. Oh dear! But I do have a point and quickie review on Little Misfortune.
And I watched it, and I think it's fabulous. So go and watch that.
Hooray! Thank you. I will. It's public now. I just need to tweet out the link as soon as I remember how literally everything works. I'm hoping to have something out in the next 2 weeks, but might get a bit caught up with Adventure X and my house having less air in it than it usually does.
I'll open a window.
Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah.
RESULKA's coming to visit. That's what's happening. And so we're on holiday.
I was wondering. I was like, are you trying to say that RESULKA's gonna take the oxygen in your house? You live in a vacuum?
Well, she is.
Yeah.
She's going to be
She's
in
just
the
gonna
house
walk around
breathing
all day
in
going,
the oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide, like
Right.
I do. But,
Right.
you know,
But the
it will be at twice the
another-
normal rate.
I mean, what's it called? We
Get
have
a
gone
plan.
over the fact that I probably have larger lungs than you, so yeah.
Judging by your singing streams, yes, yes you do.
So goodness gracious me.
So yeah, probably
so
have something.
yeah.
Oh, is that all coming through? I should
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
mute my mic.
That's all right. No, it's fine. It was just a particular bit that was like, what is going on over there? Anyway, Avuzal, what have you
Lots of
got on?
things.
Well, I just recently finished Star Trek game, Elite Force, but I'm thinking of doing some adventure games soon with Full Throttle.
Nice. Very nice choice.
I noticed that none of
also
us
good
actually.
choice on Elite Force.
Yeah, none of us took a LucasArts title for our continuation of the IP. It seems that Sierra is quite grabbable for those type of things, isn't it? Anyway, sorry, that was back on the previous topic. Dave, what have you got going on other than coughing?
Once I stop coughing. Yep, it stopped.
Excuse
Okay.
his coughing. I hate that. Clown.
I'm starting.
Little graveyard
and then there
humor
were
there.
none. And then there were none is the next game will be starting on my channel.
And then there were bums.
The
Yes.
And then there were and then Darkfall as well. I'm gonna start Darkfall 1.
Ooh.
So I'm really excited.
Yes. Francisco, are you doing anything?
Well, no, but if you want me to do more things, please consider buying my games. You can buy Lamplight City on Steam and GOG. The Halloween sale is coming up soon.
Yeah.
You can also purchase a Golden Wake and Shardlight.
He gets no money from either of those anymore, but
No, I get money from a Golden Wake and Shardlight, but play them anyway.
Yeah.
Also, we're going to be streaming Quest for Glory 4 tomorrow, continuing on the voicing of...
you just took mine.
That, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, then why don't you tell us, Rizulka?
Okay, so we're going to be... Okay, so...
Fuck.
Gemini goes away and everything goes to hell in a handbasket. So this time tomorrow, we will be in the middle of a stream of us continuing Quest for Glory 4. If you missed the previous part, it is currently live on our channel. It involves IKIFOO and the Wanderer, if we just go over a visual, and GRUNDISLAV there. And we are doing that with Laurie and Corey Cole, the game developers themselves, which is a lot of fun. And no, Pete's now threatening to join back in it. You can come in. The frame is already ready. Come on in. But yeah, so we're going to be doing that on my channel. Like I said, I mentioned that I'm probably going to start just randomly streaming some nights, and that's just going to be my episodes that
God.
You said I could do it, so I did it.
Yeah, welcome back. See, I did.
Okay.
But what's it called? So
Wait, the layout's correct. This isn't what you were after.
This isn't right.
no,
this isn't right at all.
because I had done this and then she left. That's where the layout fell out.
Oh, so you okay.
Oh.
So you ruined me.
messed up.
You ruined me.
Twice.
That's why I was flustering at the beginning, being like, "Oh shit."
That's what I'm here for. I told you.
There's my psychic twin at work, and IKIFOO's under the table now. I did
It's
not
a
really.
table.
It's. Yeah. What else was I going to say? Oh yes, Adventure X. Adventure X is coming up. Obviously. Yes. Yes.
I don't know why I joined it, just to mess it up.
We love you. That's why. But yeah. So Adventure X is coming up. I'm going to be there. Francisco's going to be there. IKIFOO's going to be there. Many other people are going to be there, including like Summer's going to be there, unless Brexit suddenly throws a gigantic spanner in the works, which hopefully it won't, because I'm going to tell it to fuck right off. And IKIFOO's going to make that face.
Thirded.
Yeah.
Look at that brew.
If you are going to Adventure X, what I recommend coming to the Saturday night fun event, which is Quizzard's Castle, which is a quiz that several of us are going to be involved on stage. And I'm going to give a little spoiler away. There is a thing that can be won. Although this is
Look at that. That is awesome.
This is not for the audience to win. There is another one of these for the audience to win. This is the hat
Still say you should throw
that Francisco, I, and IKIFOO are going to be trying to win off each other. I have carefully crafted this hat myself.
Wait, are we going to be competing against each other?
Art.
Yes.
No, we're going to be competing against the hats.
Where have you been, Francisco? We're captains against each other.
I clearly haven't been paying attention.
It's you,
It's fine.
me, and Rizalka quizzing together. I'm going to fucking lose, so
And
it's
Richard
between you
Comment's
two.
asking the questions?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
And there's
So I'll
Ooh.
just put the third place hat on my
Aw.
position right at the
Aw.
start.
Well, I don't have that many hats. I have a hat for the audience winner and a hat for the
So you don't
the captain.
Yeah,
Make a
you don't
dunce
actually-
cap for third.
You don't get a hat for third. Sorry.
No, and I'm clearly going to come third against these two.
You get
so-
a monocle
Yeah, dude,
and a
you
little
know
vest.
what? That's brave. I don't know how you're doing that. That is
get-
brave,
you
man.
get
That
this
is
on
Well, I have this
volunteering
cunning
as tribute.
tactic of not thinking it through. And it's
Beautiful.
gotten me here.
Art.
So
Well, I commend that. That is commendable.
yes, so
It's a very
I
fancy hat.
I taught myself how to make medieval hats. It's called a bicocket hat. I did some research, and I've been doing some embroidery, and also some puff paint.
Bicocket? I hardly
I
know
have
it.
I have the old school puff paint. I have a whole heap of puff paint on my desk. That's gonna be fun. And gold thread and feathers. I have many feathers now. I could make many hats.
Make all the hats.
I'll make a hat just for you, Icky, in this very, very purple feather.
It's like
Not
indigo.
how it comes out on my end. But
No, it's looking
look at
very
the
blue,
different
isn't
monitor.
it? But
Yeah.
it is very much your type of purple. So
I trust you on that.
yes, and who's going to be a yellow feather?
That sounds like an insult somehow. You yellow feather.
Hey, yellow feather. All right.
What'd you call me?
Why, you yellow feathered varmint?
Did you scratch my hair? No. So this just shows that my hair isn't bright as fuck red.
Pizza Hackerman again.
Yeah, that happens.
Ackerman.
All right. So
I'm a hackerman.
we're going to end up
Hacking
here
away.
because I think we have fully talked the topic to death. I
Oh
suppose
god, yes. We have.
just a quick recap of the overall summary of what I would say about this is if you're going to take a big license, grab yourself some, people that have done in-depth reviews on why those games work.
I want Princess Tomato.
Of course you do, Pete, because you're awesome.
I said it in the chat, but
I did.
Oh, yeah.
I
Well,
figured I'd have it on
Kevin's just asked you anyway.
screen.
Anyway, so
I want Princess Tomato.
we will see you in the YAR Discord. We will see you on the interwebs. And we're going to get going then. Everyone, friendship dance. And I can't turn this off because I'm friendship dancing. Also, Gemini, come back. Save us. Save all of us.
This is a friendship dance to energize Gemini.
Yeah.
Rizalka, for God's sake.
Bye.